video features excerpts from a conversation between Ian James, COO, Interface Force Measurement Solutions, and Michael Thaw, VP, Advisory Services, Technology Evaluation Centers. Interface Inc. is a US-based woman-owned technology manufacturing company located in Scottsdale, Arizona, which leads the world in force measurement solutions. Technology Evaluation Centers, Tech, a world leader in impartial software evaluation and selection, helped Interface Inc. arrive at an internal consensus, choose the best ERP for its needs, and negotiate the best possible contract and price.
Tech brought to the table was a process. We've never done anything like this. We couldn't really design a process ourselves. I mean, we could have an outline, but what we went through and benefited from tremendously was a well-trodden, well-thought-out process that had obviously evolved over many iterations. And it kept us on track all the way through the project, in fact. And the structure it provided meant that we didn't miss any steps, or we didn't go too fast or too slow at any given point. So that, to me, was a tremendous benefit. We had a list of questions which we had generated before we hired Tech, and we looked at their questions and were completely sold. I mean, it was obvious they've seen this process many, many times, and they had developed a lot of very detailed questions. And even one of my most experienced managers turned around and said, you know, I wouldn't have thought of that. So that was very useful. It was a very lengthy and thorough process we went through for requirements gathering. I would have to call it exhaustive, but it set us up and prepared us to make a selection that made sense based on criteria, or at least as the closest you can get to criteria that match your own requirements. So that was very valuable. I mean, obviously, an ERP implementation is very, very busy, but so is the selection process. It's not a trivial matter at all. You don't want to pick the wrong thing. So everyone talks about the implementation as being a big effort, but actually so is the selection. So having essentially a project manager guiding us through that made it much easier for me. It took a lot of the load off me personally, and that obviously allowed me to focus on the my day job. First of all, during the contract negotiation, once we selected our candidate, or our favoured candidate, because we had more than one, because they were close, and it didn't hurt to have one candidate understand that there might be some price pressure from the other candidate. But during the negotiations, it became very clear that the initial scope of work that was presented by the vendor was fairly loose. It wasn't tied down at all. And what the tech team brought to the table was an understanding of the standard that was required to protect us during implementation, to make sure that it was all nailed down. It was, again, a very exhaustive effort, but the experience that the team had was vital in making sure that the quality of the document that we all ended up with was precise enough. And that, again, I hadn't appreciated before I got into it, just how important it was to absolutely nail down everything. Because tech have huge experience of this, they were able to ask the difficult questions of the vendor that needed to be asked that I might well have missed. They know their stuff. And it's all about knowledge. They know, because they do this all the time, they know what the pitfalls are, they know where the pressure points are, they know what a particular vendor is good at, and what a vendor is trying to paper over the cracks in their offer. The implementation partner, I think, had not run into a customer who had as detailed understanding as we did about the necessity for a precise statement of work. So there was a lot of backwards and forth, and they were just not prepared for the level of detail. And in the end, I noticed that what was really happening was that tech was coaching the implementation partner in how to write a decent statement of work that would protect them as much as us. And I think, without question, the implementation partner really learned a great deal. And if they ever run across the sort of third-degree questioning that they got from us, then I think they'll be much better prepared. So that was extremely helpful, really, to both sides, because we all want a tight deal. It's not about making just getting the best possible price. You're going to have to work with these people for years, so you need to have a very good understanding, so that there is mutual understanding about what's actually on offer here and what isn't. And that was extremely valuable. As you go through the process, there's plenty of opportunity to just close it down and just keep it to a small team and then come out with a result at the end. And I would caution against that, because we had a lot of people involved in different, not all the time, and sometimes they just listened in, but particularly during the demonstration phase. I was very pleased to see how many people were taking it seriously, well beyond their own area of discipline. People stayed for the demonstrations well past just their bit. And that's helped build us, first of all, a consensus about what was the most important, what features that we were looking for. It helped us to build a consensus about which application we really liked. And we were fortunate because it was head and shoulders above the competition in the end. And that is very helpful to me in the implementation, because people are able to say, oh yeah, I was part of that decision, and yes, this is the application I liked best too. And that's helping us in the change management area. I have one comment I want to make, which is something you didn't bring up, which you probably should have done. We got a lot of value for money. Tech paid for itself, especially in the negotiation, over and over. So we took it on faith that would be the case, and so it proved. So it does seem like an additional expense in an already expensive project, but we saved a ton of money, especially in the negotiations. It was hard cash, and we had a return on investment of that pretty early, so that was good.
Technology Evaluation Centers would like to thank Ian James of Interface Inc. for his time and for the insight he provided in the making of this video. We are Technology Evaluation Centers. For more information, please contact us.